from them. And today we have with us Laurent Cohen. He is a founder and CTO of GetOblic, a voice-first AI platform that handles phone conversations for local businesses. So we'll understand from him how AI is moving beyond chatbots to voice interfaces, why missed calls are a local business's most expensive problem, and how to implement practical AI that saves time and captures revenue without losing the human touch. Welcome to the show, Laurent.
Once we gather the data, we can build an even stronger voice AI that can be implemented to all other businesses. And this is really what we want to achieve at GetOblic.
Absolutely, Laurent. So, can you help us understand through some example how it works on the ground, so that the audience and especially small businesses can understand it?
Of course, AJ. So the idea as a local business is you wake up in the morning, you most of the time have a very small structure, 1, 2, 3 persons that need to be focused on their customers, right? Whether you're a paid groomer, you have a hair salon, you're a chiropractor, you're a massage therapist, you name it. You are single-handedly working on a position when you have to spend time with the customer, give them all the effort and attention, while someone will try to reach you because they want to schedule an appointment or ask for questions, ask for opening hour, and you literally don't have the time to answer the phone. We've all been to a hair salon and seen our hairdresser stopping 3 times within half an hour just to handle the phone calls. And of course, from that phone calls, you have customers calling, but you also have people calling to sell you something. And that's literally a waste of time. So not only you're wasting your time answering your calls, but you're also putting your attention elsewhere where you should be focused on your customers. So we think that filtering calls, creating a real communication with an AI that's going to be patient, elegant to answer calls will free business owners from the burden of what the phone is. We like to think that before AI, phone was a communication layer that was abandoned from businesses. People wanted to focus on the web as they should have been. But now we have something different. We don't have an answering machine. We don't have a bot. We have a really smart AI that can literally, if you trust it and if it's developed and deployed properly, can replace you on any connection using the phone. In order to build that, we have to have data from the business because we train the agent, the voice assistant, that will, if he has a lot of information, be able to answer the users with definitive answers. And that's where our platform gets into place, because we, with our own AI, gather as much information as we can, and we already deploy a very highly smart agent that can answer most of the question that anybody will have. Then, once you have the business claiming the page and start implementing even more information, like promotions that are running currently, work hours, vacation hours, anything related to the business, then you have a very, very strong AI receptionist. And the business owner can literally spend his days focusing on his clients in the business, while the AI takes over anything phone related. And that's really a big change for any local business. We know by now that a local business might receive from 20 to 40 phone calls a day. If you think that on average it's going to be 3 minutes, you can easily imagine that a business owner can spend 90 minutes per day on the phone. 90 minutes per day, let's say you are a hairdresser, those are 3 calls, 3 haircuts. If you have you are a chiropractor, that's 1 to 2 sessions of work. So you can turn the amount of time you gain not having to answer the phone through real money, literal money. You multiply that by 24 days in a month, and you can easily see that it should be a no-brainer for everyone to use AI for your phone.
Absolutely. So, Laurent, for a small business, for a local business, their connection with the customer, their familiarity with the customer is their biggest strength. Many of them are repeat customers. If those customers call and instead of the familiar voice, it's an AI talking to them, how does that work? Second part is the data privacy. A small businesses, local businesses data is very sacrosanct to them. Even people who are dealing with them, they know that these guys have their limited operations, their data is safe, they readily give all the details that is required. All these two things, one is the human, the familiarity part, and the data part. How is that taken care of in your process?
First of all, I want to address the data privacy because very early stage in our project, that was our main focus. And up to this day, it still is. And it's going to increase a lot more because when we've been thinking about creating GetOblic, initially, obviously, as building a company, you think how many businesses are going to turn into customers for us. But now our main metrics is not how many business are customers, is how many minutes our users engage with our platforms. Because we think that by building engagement, we are literally building the database of our company and the asset of our company. Now, that's when privacy gets in play. If we have, and as today, and again, with very early stage, we already have around 200 minutes per day of discussions. So that's already very, very important data information that we've gathered. Initially, we thought, you know what, why don't we send by email excerpts of the discussions that we've had to our customers? That was not a good idea, because as soon as we take that very sensitive and sensible information through an email, there's a chance of the email being accessed by a third party, right? And this is something we don't want to do. So you see, this is the kind of layers that we've addressed, and we've made sure that as now the customer or business can access his excerpt, but only through a security layer, which is our company dashboard, which is secured in a way that's top of the game, and that literally cannot be hacked as now. And we're still working on our protection. We've moved to all instances such as Amazon, AWS, Cloudflare, to ensure that that kind of data is protected. So yes, this is centered of every single thing we do in the company. And we can ensure our customers that we put the utmost work on ensuring that these data are protected. Now, the relationship between a user and an AI is also something that we think about every day when we wake up, AJ. Simply because you have to ask yourself a question. When you have a user talking with a robot AI, do you want the user to know that he's talking to an AI? Or do you want the user to feel and think that he's using to a human? Because you have to understand, AJ, that the technology today and eventually with the next few months, you literally, as a user, won't be able to make the difference. So this is also a very, very deep subject on what we're building. We do not think that for local business, we should hide the fact that they're talking with a chatbot, which is not a chatbot, which is an AI. We should build trust with the AI and have the AI gather enough knowledge of the company that the user will trust talking with an AI, because the user will know that the AI knows what it's talking about, knows the company, knows the business owner enough so it can entrust the AI with every single question he's requesting. So no, we're not hiding the fact that users are talking with AI. We want to ensure that the AI is smart enough and elegant enough so that the user feels comfortable. And that's really a very thin line we're working on, but that's going to make a big difference.
Of course. So AI can answer phones, but what about the interaction part? AI will only listen to what the other person is saying and then answer
No,
what you have fed into. But as for a local business, when the owner talks to, say, 50%, 40% are their day to day familiar customers, repeat customers. And if they ask something, ask specific advice, perhaps a bit of more discount or anything else, then you are able to, answer that immediately. Here, the AI will postpone it maximum. Again, the owner will have to listen to that and get engaged. So, isn't it duplicacy of work for later on? And at the risk of already compromising on that human interaction with the known customers, with unknown customers online, it is still understood that they are calling for the first time. Basic understanding of things chatbot can, AI can answer. How does, I'm talking from a local businesses point of view. I'm sure they must be asking you these questions. How would you answer those?
we already get these questions a lot, AJ. And we're already ourselves amazed every day by how the AI agent can perform using voice AI. First of all, you have to understand that the criteria on building our agents uh, is very high level. First of all, we always and put again the utmost importance of ensuring what we call fallbacks calls. Let's say we have clinics and chiropractors that are already customers with GetOblic. Those are else businesses. So if anybody calls for an emergency, if anybody calls with a question that he really doesn't want to share with voice AI, we know how to do fallbacks and transfer the call to the real person. So this is part of what we call our guardrails. Guardrails are very, very important when you build an agent, and that's something we work on every single day. So fallback is one thing. Then you have all the questions that can be answered by the AI. And what's really amazing is the AI, when it's built correctly, can go beyond even what the client thinks about. Let me give you an idea. We have a hair salon last week that was called, and the hair salon sells a brand. We know it sells the brand. We know the product it sells. Those are side product from the main work, which is cutting hair, basically. The AI has been able to sell as an upsell a treatment using that brand to the person that called. And that person didn't know we needed that service. The AI turned the request into an upsell and then into scheduling an appointment. So this is the kind of layer we can achieve. Now, the greater thing we have is also the information we gather. Remember what I said earlier on, Jay. Every single interaction is an opportunity for us, an opportunity to build a better AI. So once we have either it's a question or a service or a mention that is used among all our customers and that has not been answered properly, this is handled at GetOblic in the same day. And not only it is improving for the business that was appropriate with that question, but it's also deployed to all the AI. So every single day, our AI that is used globally on GetOblic is smarter. And this improvement is really not going up in a linear way. is going up straightforward. So we know for a fact that what was working on GetOblic a month ago is literally nothing compared to what we're doing today, and it's going to be even more performative in the next month or two. So yes, obviously it happens that some questions are not answered properly, but those are the data as we gather and to make sure that the AI is trained and even more performant.
Absolutely. Will it remove the reception or receptionists in the coming days? Not only this, your tool, but others also tools like this?
Okay, the next groundbreaking agent we're developing, it's the full search concierge. So basically, we have two ways people are interacting with us. Since we've been very successful with SEO, we have users accessing directly the business they were looking for. But now that we have a lot more engagement on a daily basis, people start visiting GetOblic and they're looking for a business. Let me give you a quick example. Google, we've been blessed enough to have Google entrusting our website to put us on the top 5 search for terms like massage near me and chiropractor near me. This is a very big success as a company in terms of SEO. So you have people that are basically searching for a chiropractor and they reach our GetOblic page. As now, the only thing they've been able to do is use the web, which is a basic search field, and then find a page and then talk with the AI agents. Now, the layer we want to do, and this is why we call ourselves a voice first company, is that we want to have our concierge, which is on every page, to be able to answer any question, find a business, suggest a business near the location, and transfer to the agent of that local business that is trained on the business information. Once we're successful to do that, we literally have our own performative search engine within our website. And our vision for GetOblic, when we call it a voice first directory, is that the web layer is purely used for SEO optimization, and we want to have our users use as much as they can the voice concierge and voice agents into their interactions. So this is exactly what we're building right now, and we're very happy with already what we can do, and the next few weeks are going to be very exciting.
Absolutely. How do you make money, and what is the adoption like at the moment?
As now, we've been making money by selling our AI receptionist, which is basically the upgrade to the AI assistant. We are very early stage on the company. The company started 4 months ago. The funny thing is that when we started the company, we had a different vision on how we gonna build the communication, right? So SEO was one thing, search engine marketing was another one. We have plan A, plan B, plan C. And I've been working long enough in SEO to be very humble with what SEO is. So I said, when we'll be successful with SEO, we'll engage into that. But very early stage, we've had the page started ranking. And as now we have 300,000 pages that are top 10 on long tail SEO. So we have traffic, not only from users, but we have traffic from business owners that find our directory. So we've been able, months to have our first customer, which is a business owner. And as now, we have approximately 500 businesses that have subscribed to the advanced AI receptionists. And for us, since we thought of ourselves are really being a beta company, we turned into a very active and successful company. And the increase in amount of visits and access to claim their pages, which has been tremendous from early stage, has been the reason we've also focused for the last month and a half of really fine-tuning our funnel, because for the audience out there are two things that I would say. First of all, focus on your SEO and focus on your funnel, because SEO is how you're going to have people visiting your website, and funnel is how you're going to transform a visitor to a customer. So the funnel has been our focus, and we think we've achieved something very cool, because we see our customer base growing increasingly every day.
Absolutely. So is it only local businesses, people in Israel, local businesses, or anyone in the world can make use of your product?
So we've focused our initial market to the US, right? Because why not starting with the number one market in the world? And this is where the company is really strong right now. But funny enough, we've had multiple local businesses in multiple countries around the world, and India actually, 3 weeks ago, I think, where small businesses had claimed their pages. So basically, sky's the limit for us. I think, because it's our project, that by April, we're going to be able to deploy multiple languages. So our first goal is to deploy Spanish, French, German, which will allow us in turn to open the market to companies speaking those languages. But as now, we already have businesses that have been claimed in England, in India, in Germany, and in Spain, and in Peru. So, this is really mind-blowing how a directory can work. You think you are focusing on a market, and when you build interest, you have literally people waking up from all over the world and starting to investigate what you're doing and engaging with you. So we're very excited, and we think that by the end of 2026, we'll be covering maybe 40, 50% of the planet.
Wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you very much, AJ. Have a wonderful day.